All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, and salutation to all you sincere Akim that's pushing this truth for true sincerity. And as we see in 2026, the year of apostates, agents, and spies, also the year of Jacob's trouble, that there's division amongst Esau and Edom. So this is Matthew 12 and 25, this is great news. This is the good news. This is the gospel. We want to see the end of all this wickedness. All right, because we go to you go to First Maccabees. It talks about the evils were multiplied when the four generals, Cassander, Lysimachus, Ptolemy, and Seleucid took over for Alexander the Greek. It says in Malachi, the first chapter, that Esau is the border of wickedness. So yes, we love hearing news like this. I got a news article queued up, and Lord, when you edified. And Yahushua, this is St. Matthew 12 and 25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Verse 26, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay, so every kingdom divided against himself is brought to desolation. Let's get desolation right quick. The word desolation is the act or the instance of desolating, the state of being desolate, devastation, ruin. All right, let's get that in the Greek right quick.
Strong's G 2048. Eremao.
To make desolate, lay waste. To ruin, bring to desolation. To despoil one, strip her of her treasures. So basically, lay waste or ruin. All right. So we got some news here from End Time Headlines. EU troops, European Union troops may be deployed to stop a United States showdown in Greenland. And if you've been hiding under a rock or not paying attention like the majority of our people, the United States, also known as Babylon the Great, is trying to acquire Greenland. Let's see this world map somewhere. I got it somewhere queued up. All right, so the world map. This is the United States, and this is Greenland. All right, it belongs to Denmark. Okay, and Denmark is right here. Okay, Copenhagen is the capital. Okay, it's north of Germany and south of Norway, and I'm gonna say northwest of Sweden. Okay, this is Denmark. All right, so it says, as tensions rise over the strategic Arctic island of Greenland, some European voices are suggesting that the European Union might need to reconsider deploying troops to prevent a potential confrontation between the United States and other powers over the territory. Greenland, an autonomous region of the Kingdom of Denmark, has long held strategic and geopolitical value due to its location, natural resources, and importance for military and surveillance purposes in the high north. Let's look up natural resources of Denmark just real quick. But you can clearly see at the end of the age of Esau. Just bear with me for a sec. Now we already know the U.S. already went into Venezuela. All right, it was a position grab. Also, they got 17.3 billion worth of oil. Denmark has several natural resources, including oil. See, Esau's god is gold, oil, and drugs. as Apostle Ari Amlab is mentioned in a live stream, Esau, the so-called white man, he's really red. His God is gold, oil, and drugs. It says including oil and natural gas from the North Sea, arable land for agriculture, and significant fishing grounds. Other resources include limestone, chalk, clay, gravel, and sand, which are used in construction and manufacturing. So Esau, man, he's just a greedy devil, all right, especially here in Babylon the Great. He goes around and steals his resources, drains these people, all right, brings in his democracy, brings in his freakism. We already know what a Babylon the Great, the whore, does, okay? So let's continue with this. It says the debate has been inflamed by repeated statements from the United States leadership hinting at the possibility of bringing Greenland under stronger American control, a notion that has alarmed Copenhagen and many European Union capitals. The idea of a preventative EU troop deployment stems from fears that conventional diplomacy may fail to contain an escalating dispute if the United States pushes forcefully for greater influence or control over Greenland's future. Proponents argue that such a move would signal European commitment to uphold international law and territorial integrity of allies and partners. They point out that the island's status is not merely a matter of United States strategic interests, but also a question of sovereign rights for its people and the governments that represent them. According to Euro News, critics of United States ambition regarding Greenland have emphasized the need for unity among European states as they navigate the complex relationship with Washington. And these Edomites, even from the time of the four generals, they've never got along. Okay, there's been many wars even in that period. And it goes to show you that Esau is divided. All right, European Edomites, American Edomites. All right, nobody hates the Edomites, the Amalekites over there in the state of Israel. So it's all types of division. So that's good news for us. We're at the end of this man's system when everything is divided. All right, so I just got one more precept. We'll see what happens with this situation. All right, over here in Greenland this week. You know, there's been a lot of stuff going on. 11 days, about to be 12 days going in. But I just got one more precept, and I'll just close it on out. This is Revelation 17 and 16. All right, let's get it in the KJV, excuse me. Revelation 17 and 16. And it says, in the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast. All right, that beast goes into the Roman Empire, all right, which is revised, okay, under the European Union, okay, and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, all right. Goes back to ancient Rome. We're here in America, and basically around the world, we're in the revitalization of Rome, but America is mainly Rome, okay. These shall hate the whore, that whore that sitteth upon many waters, like it mentions in Revelation 17. Okay, Revelation 17 and 1. And there came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show thee the judgment of the great whore, which is Babylon the Great, that sitteth upon many waters. All right, that many waters goes into verse 15. Revelation 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest were where the whore sitteth for peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Don't they call this place in America a great melting pot? In the neighborhood I live in is Jake, is Issachar, which those are Israelites, okay? Got the northern kingdom, southern kingdom. You got Elam in this neighborhood. You got Ishmael, and you got them hammerhead looking Cushites, them weird forehead looking Hamites named Cushites, okay? So this place is a melting pot, All right, all nations come here and they can worship whatever they want to worship, man. They can do what they want to do in the name of under one God that people have on a license plate. But this man's God is gold, oil, and drugs. Verse 2, of whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. That wine goes into these philosophies like LGBTQ. All types of freakism is at a rampant high here in America. The money system, the judicial system, okay? Feminism is worse than crack cocaine at this point, okay? And all these nations have drunk of these philosophies brought out by Esau, Edom, the red man, especially over here in Babylon the Great. Okay? You people got freedom, all right. Freedom to be a freak and a geek here in Babylon the Great. So, Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. That whore goes into Babylon the Great. Okay? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Because even the allies who used to be allied or about to be alienated from Babylon the Great, they're going to turn their attention here to Babylon because, as you can see, Babylon the Great has been going around bullying other nations like Venezuela. Okay, now they're looking to take Denmark, and their own people, the Edomites from a different side of the world, are tired of it. And it's going to eventually be to where these countries, like it says in like Jeremiah 50, that your mother was sore confounded, Great Britain, okay, is going to be tired of this place as well. Okay, because these people are tired of Babylon the Great, and they're tired of the state of Israel with these Amalekites, man. Everybody's getting tired of the so-called you-know-who. So this is Revelation 17 and 16. For God, the Most High, his name is Yahweh, have put in their hearts to fulfill his will. This is all the will of God. This is the good news for us Israelites, man. This man is torn apart, and pretty soon you're going to start to see civil war here in America. You saw what happened last week with that shooting of that sweet old white woman up there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which that's probably a psyop because I mentioned that camp. They got different pictures of this woman, all right? And these people in an uproar over psyop. But hey, we clap it on, man, okay? Because we want to see civil war and division here in America so we can get the F out of here because of all this wickedness that's going on here in Babylon the Great. You people get mad at us because we say the F word, but these people doing all types of manner of freakism right now as I do this lesson. Okay? For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And these words are faithful and true. All right, this book strongly condemns Esau, Edom, the red man, and he's going down. So with that, I just want to make it real quick. We'll see what happens this week. But hey, this prophecy is going to be fulfilled. All right. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.